Well, Robert Mueller's first indictment could come within hours. But before the charges are filed, red flags are being raised about the credibility of his legal team and the more than $66,000 that they donated to Democrats. Here to weigh in on the impact that this could have on the case, former federal and criminal defense attorney Emily Compagno. Thank you so much for joining us early this morning, Emily. How you doing?
Good morning, Heather. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
So what do you think about this? Just off the very top, your general thoughts on Robert Mueller. I mean, is he tainted going into this himself?
Well, the investigation team certainly is. Now, the clear lack of objectivity with his selections here, it's mind-blowing. And frankly, the American public deserves to have confidence that there's not a secondary agenda here with these investigators, and at least that there's not the appearance of such. Now, at least 9 of them, that's more than half, were direct and repeat donors to Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, as you said, totaling over $65,000, multiple of which worked in the Obama administration directly for the White House as advisors on criminal procedure and criminal law and even security clearance. At least one of them represented Hillary Clinton herself in the 2015 lawsuit involving access to her private emails and represented the Clinton Foundation as well, defending against a racketeering lawsuit. So again, the optics here to me are staggering.
It really is mind-boggling when you take a look at that. Let's take a look closely at some of those donations that were made. As you said, at least 9 members of his team. You had James Quarrell, over $42,000. Jeannie Ray, over $12,000. Andrew Weissman, over $4,000. Greg Andrus, over $3,000. Andrew Goldstein, over $2,000. And then it just goes on down from there. I mean, are there not any other attorneys that were be available to join his team of investigators?
Exactly. And that, I think, is another reason why the public faith in this continues to erode. Because regardless if they're actually objective, the optics, again, are so staggering, it leaves us with no choice but to raise questions. And it's not being partisan to do so.
Emily, let me ask you this question, though, because if they donated money, some of them to the DNC, and if we now know that the DNC funded in part this dossier, which was part of what led to this Russia investigation to begin with that Mueller's handling, isn't there just a huge conflict of interest there? I mean, that alone, if they donated money that led to this dossier?
Absolutely. There's a tremendous conflict of interest here that, depending on who, in fact, is indicted moving forward, can raise that issue in court. It's frankly spoiling the well from the first minute. And note, too, that multiple of them, in fact, I think all but one, worked with and for each other as well. And obviously, camaraderie and teamwork are important. But what is more important is that impartiality and the lack of subjectivity here. Note, too, that all but one were former prosecutors. And obviously, being a prosecutor is commendable, but there's a different mindset. It's a different breed than being an advisor or investigatory attorney, where they kind of have a goal-first mentality versus being open to where the data leads you. So for me, again, from the get-go, the optics here are poor.
Yeah, it definitely seems like an open-ended investigation that just continues to spread. And then not to mention, which we didn't have time to get into, the leaks, including the leak about this alleged indictment coming down today. So there's something you said about that as well. Emily, thank you so much for joining us this morning.